Hey y'all, it's probably gonna need this. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Smitty here. Something a little different for you today. I'm in my office slash storage room slash third bedroom, all the above, and we're taking a little break from the transmission work and everything else. I had to wait on parts anyway for the transmission, so at any rate, I just got the last shipment today. I think I should have all the parts, and I've got something interesting to show you on the 4L80. You'll have to wait for the video for that, but for the time being, make sure if you do like the content, please leave me a comment down below. Smash that like button. There's a subscribe button right down there close to it also. Hit that and then turn your bell notification to all, and that way you get notified when I upload the latest videos. So what I'm working on for the time being, what I started is, I don't know how you all do it as far as, the ones that do your own editing and storage of your videos. I'm sure a lot of you don't delete them. At least I wouldn't, and I don't. But the first computer I built, I learned from it. Well, this is not the first computer I built by a long shot, but I mean the first video editing computer that I built. I learned a couple of things with it, and figured out that it was time for an upgrade. So what I've searched the internet for. I can't afford a new one, like a really bad to the bone computer, so I've searched the internet to find good quality used parts that I can make a very good computer, relatively inexpensive. And so those parts have come in, so I figured, well, maybe y'all would like to see what I'm doing. So to start with, we got this donor. This is one I put together a while ago. I've been working on it and getting it up and going, and it does work. And I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make this one a Linux server. I don't know if guys have ever played with Linux, but it's kind of a neat system. It's open source, kind of like your phone is. What that means is you can modify the program to make it work the way you want it to. It's not like Microsoft or anything like that. So this particular board, this is basically a new board. It's got like maybe 2 hours on it of runtime. These are Pentium 3. There's 2 of them, and they're 1 gig processors with a whopping 256K cache. It's in stark comparison to what's out there now, I can tell you that. I've got 2 Rambus memory cards. It's 800 megahertz. To give you an idea, the new one that I'm building has 2400 megahertz memory, which is stupid fast. And the center chips are like continuity chips. They're not actually memory sticks. And on this particular system, you have to have them. I don't know if you can see them in there. The light's kind of too far above the camera, but give you an idea. I did put this is what you call a BIOS battery, or CMOS. This basically keeps your BIOS clock active. They're good for about 5 to 7 years, maybe longer, depends on the use and the conditions. But it's something that needs to be replaced, And most people don't understand when a computer just quits like that. Sometimes it's just because that battery has gone dead. That one's just a CR2032, which is the same battery that, you know, a lot of your new transmitters take. So, you know, I hope this doesn't bore you guys. I was always, somebody once told me that does YouTube, it says, pick up a camera anytime you're doing something. You just never know. And I was like, well, okay. I mean, I'm supposed to be an automotive channel. And I've been told by several people that want to see some other projects that I do. So I figure, why not? Like I said, I just picked up the camera and says, hey, well, why not? Let's record this. So I hope this doesn't bore you. I hope you find it somewhat interesting. But back to this. Okay, these right here, these are ribbon cables. This is what they call an ATA. It has an ATA hard drive, which, you know, your new ones are SATA, serial ATA. And then you have SAS, serial activated SCSI or something like that. SCSI used to be your drives that spun like 10 or 15,000 RPM. They got this little platter that spins that fast in there. I should take a hard drive apart, the one that's junk, and show you the inside of it. It's pretty cool. Anyway, this one has got an AGP memory or video card slot, and they also come up with the AGP Pro 50, which is a high-speed card. It was the first revelation before they went to PCI Express. This is just a regular PCI slot. They go by colors, depending on how fast the thing is. This is just a 16-bit. It may even be just an 8-bit. I think it may just be an 8-bit. I don't remember off the top of my head, but anyway, this is a hard drive. This is an old style. Again, it has a ribbon cable on it that's right here. And on the back of that, see these, get this cable out of the way. See these spots right here? These are your hard drive jumpers. And what you have to do is, if you've got multiple of these drives in an older architecture. All right, so I lost some of the audio here, but what I was telling you is the connectors in the back of the drive, there is a master and a slave setting, or it's an open, and that's how you tell the computer itself which drive is which. So, and then it does the same on this DVD drive here. This dude's kind of old. Still works. But if you look at the name on it, it says it's a Gateway. September of 98. But it still works. So, if you notice, the connector on the back is the same also. The big connector here is for your data cable, your ribbon cable. You got a power off there to the right. And then it's got the jumpers on the back too for master and slave, depending on if you've got more than one drive on the same cable. Then you've got an analog audio, and the digital is the 2-wire there on the end. Set this off to the side. One more thing I want to show you here, this difference in the cable. This is a new style cable for a SATA drive, serial ATA. You noticed it's quite a bit smaller, and it's much more compact. The terminals are much smaller in there, and you really can't get it wrong. I mean, they are notched a certain way. So, alright, technical difficulties there. Battery went dead. Anyway, so this case that I've got actually is one that you can buy them. I bought this years ago. I bought it to make this computer for our godson, and I won't go into details why he never got it, but anyway, I figured this would make a good candidate for what I want to do because it has good airflow. I added this fan. That is a 120 millimeter fan, and it's what they call a pulse width modulated. In other words, the computer can actually control how fast it's going by varying the voltage. This thing is super quiet and moves substantial air. As you can see, I've got it plugged in on this board. Now this board only has 3 pins because they didn't think about using pulse width modulated fans yet. But the plug will interchange, it just runs at full speed. And then right there is room for 4 more. And I did buy some other fans. Well, you can tell I'm tired. Didn't even have the mic in the right spot. I know you guys could hear me though. Anyway, I bought 4 of these, and these are also pulse width modulated. I didn't need any of those neon ones or something like that because I'm going to do something a little different anyway. It'll still look cool. But anyway, these will fit. Wires out of the way. These will fit in there, something like that. But I got to take the front cover off. Not a big deal. Anyway, so we're going to disassemble this case. Got 2 screws on that, and I've got the back cover off so you can get the other 2 screws. I've already added my storage. Now this is what they call a hot swap drive setup, and I've actually got a drive in there because I wanted to show you, just like that, and you can pull this drive out. And this is what they call a serial ATA drive. As you can see, the connectors on the back. I don't know if it's going to focus on that or not. But the one on the should say on there. Not anyway. Your one on your right there is your connector for the computer, and the one on the left is, believe it or not, power. But if you look inside this thing, if you open all these doors up all the way, you can see back down in there that they've got the connectors right there. So when you slide that drive in, it just automatically connects with that back piece. So like this drive here, this is an old drive, so I'm not even sure if it works, but once you get it there, you just take and slide your door until it latches, kind of like that, and you can see it sitting in there. Okay, and then all your connections are right there on the back. So, and then you've got 2 switches there for your fan speed, and I forget what the other one is. Oh, you can turn the hard drive LEDs on and off, which I leave them on. And it's got its own fan, because those drives will put off some heat. So anyway, like I said, we're going to strip this down. We have to change the power supply, because that power supply is only 230 watt, which is what you're looking at right there. And for what we're going to do, we're going to want around 800. And I bought a 850 watt. So anyway, the teardown procedure is pretty simple. You've got motherboard screws. There's one right there. If you just kind of look, there's some more. You know, this is giving a shadow here. Well, yeah, but now you really can't see it. With this, let's see if we can take this off. There you go. If you look up there at the top, there's one right there in the corner. There's one right there, and there should be one behind this power. Yep, there is. So anyway, just take those screws out, and you can take the whole motherboard out as a unit. So I'm going to get that done here. The power supply, you've got basically 4 bolts on the back there. I've already got 2 of them out because I had it out once before. And this is what you call an I/O plate, input-output shield. Most of your motherboards should come with that. So I'm going to get that out and we'll go from there. Alright, so we got our motherboard out. As you can see, we just got a bare case. We got our power supply out. Got our hard drive out. So we can do the front fans just about any time, but as you can see, like this one here has got a stand on it. You can get the stands if they don't have these raised spots here. But they'll accept multiple different, most aftermarket cases will take almost any kind of board. Let's show you what I got. Alright, this bad boy is a twin Xeon 2650. Each processor has 12 cores in it. I'll set that up there just like that. So the reason why it's got 2 different style heat sinks on it is for space more than anything. This one has got an actual tube and fin style. So you got your tubes. They're heat transfer tubes that goes into this radiator here, and you get a fan. They call this an active heat sink. If it was just fins, it would be a passive heat sink, and it would rely more on the cooling of the case to keep the processors cool. This one here just is a squirrel cage fan, again because of height, but if you notice on here, it's got a copper fin assembly on the top. These ports down here are your serial ATA ports. That's what controls your hard drives. Now, I'm going to be doing an add-on card to control the SAS drives, but you can control it off of here. The only difference is when you use the serial ATA ports, it actually takes processing power to do that. And this is part of your controller here. That's why it's got another heat sink too. This does have PCI Express, which got one there. Here's one here that's a really fast dude. See, it's got a spring-loaded clip there. And you've got multiple ports everywhere for different style plugs. Up here at the top, that's your main power connector for your board, and each one of these is its power source for each processor. Each processor has its own power supply. Well, it's all for the same power supply, but what I'm saying is it's got its own leg to make sure it has enough power. You got each one of these memory slots, and the color makes a difference on what kind of memory it will take. And if they were different colors, then you always populate the blue connector before you populate a black connector, so on and so forth. This should be a hard drive in. They'll have some different ports for out for things like these connectors here. These are for USB and audio. And you've got another one here that's the two USB connectors. You know, notice they're the same color, and they're on this other side of this case over here. Here's the 4-pin fan plugs that I was telling you about that this one has. So there's 1, 2, 3. There should be a couple more. There's 4 up there at the top. And usually they put a couple over here. Yeah, here's one here. It's got some jelly or something on it, blocking it off. Interesting. Here's a USB header down here for expansion. It's almost like they had yeah, I think that's what they did. They glued the connector on there. But anyway, it's got a lot of fan ports on it. We're going to make sure to run as much coolant as we can to keep this dude cool. So anyway, this thing you'll set it back down in here. If you notice their top hole over there doesn't line up, that's okay. It's not that important. I mean, we've got 2 there that's going to work, and a couple others on the spot. So I'm going to get this dude mounted up, and I'll be back with you. Okay, y'all, getting this thing in, I already noticed we run into a snag. If you look at this connector right here, I got to be able to get to it, and this fan is right over the top of it. So I'm not sure if I can get that connector in there. The only thing I know to do is to maybe connect it beforehand and I don't think it's going to be possible. May not be able to use this case. Take our plate back out for now. Give us some more room to get the there we go. All right, so Alright, let's see what happens here. Nope, it's not going to fit. Well, that's something I didn't count on. This is stuff you'll run into. Looks like we're going to have to actually put this in this other case that's below me, or below this one, because it's got a lot more room in it. Because I think either way we look at it, the other cases that I've got out there are just as tall. Okay, y'all, so I figured out a way to make this thing all work, and it was pretty simple. As you can see, it just barely clears down there, but it clears. So the deal was, this fan that comes on this thing has this nifty beauty ring, so to speak, and I just ended up taking that off, and gives me all sorts of, well, not all sorts, but it does give me clearance for that plug down there. So, and we shouldn't interfere with the fan. It's clear. So anyway, got the motherboard bolted back down, so now I'm going to work on cleaning the silicone off of that plug right there, because that's where I want this fan to plug in. So I'm just going to take a small flat blade screwdriver and see if I can pluck that off of there. Sure attached down there to that clip. I don't want to jack that up, so let's see if not, I just may use a different terminal. Oh, looks like it went on there. Yeah, I think it did. Cool. Alright, so we got that crisis averted, so let's get the power supply up there in that hole. Alright, we got our power supply mounted, and there's the back of it. You can see the 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this one's got a great big ball bearing fan there, so plenty of cooling. And still, I thought I had more clearance, but if you look in there, that thing is right at touching, and I haven't even put the screws in yet. And I can't get my door closed all the way on the front with it sticking out. I'm almost tempted to leave that fan off unless I can find an 80mm slim fan Because the ones I've got, these here, are actually thicker than what's on there. And this case is probably going to have enough airflow that would probably be alright. Nah, we'll think about it. Anyway, gotta get this front cover off. There's these tabs in there. You squeeze those tabs and should be able to get the front cover off so we can put our case fans in there. Alright, so we got our wall of air put in there. You can see the fans there. There's 4 of them. Look at them from this side. They're all sandwiched in there nice and neat. So we can put this cover back on. As long as we don't have our fan wires in front of it. On this other side, where all these wires come through, I guess it'd help if I was aiming at the stuff, huh? Just like that. And we're set. Just need to plug all our fans in. Alright, y'all, we're going to end it off there for the ultimate editing computer. At least to me, anyway. It's not the ultimate by any means. But ultimate for the money that I'm spending. So anyway, we'll pick up again with the next video. Trying to get this thing up and running with, you know, the parts that we have here. I've still got to get the SAS drives and the controller, but we're going to get at least an operating system loaded on it and get it fired up and that kind of stuff. So anyway, if you like the content, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe too. There's a little red button down there, and then turn your notifications on. Leave me a comment. Let me know what y'all think of this stuff. I know it's not the normal car video thing, but like I said, I just figured I'd pick up a camera and start recording, so just something different. Some other things I do in the background. So y'all take care of yourself, take care of each other. God bless you, and God bless America. We'll see you in the next one, y'all. Bye-bye.